Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at Zuckerberg's latest venture, the Metaverse, designed to encourage people to come into his world. And what a nasty world it is. It's to make him rich, richer than he is, because you'll be able to buy things in there and rent space in there and do things and live a complete digital life. Only it's not working out like that. So let's take a look at this article to see how awful it's becoming. But then, this is Zuckerberg. You wouldn't expect it to be anything else. Here we go. So here's the article. It's in the Daily Mail. I have to be very careful with wording and pronunciation now, because YouTube's policies are certain words become unfriendly and won't push this video if I say them. So I shall be moderating my speech and maybe using sort of alternative terms just to make sure that this message isn't hidden and does get out, because it's truly an awful place. So bear with me. So as I say, from the Daily Mail, Metaverse is branded an online Wild West by child safety campaigners as Channel 4's Dispatches uncovers evidence of abuse and racism in the virtual reality world. Metaverse is a virtual spaces where users can game and communicate with others. Users can explore online world and interact in a number of virtual locations. But Channel 4's Dispatches has revealed very disturbing behaviour by its users. It found explicit, racist and threatening content in a virtual reality world. This comes after a similar probe found users exposed to abuse every 7 minutes. Every 7 minutes you're in there, you're being the victim. This is a terrible, terrible place, but one would expect nothing less from the alien that is the Zuckerberg. Metaverse has been branded an online Wild West by child safety campaigners after Channel 4 Dispatches uncovered evidence of what we've mentioned in the reality world, the virtual reality world. An investigation has revealed that the comments and threatening behaviour were made minutes after a Channel 4 journalist went undercover into the Zuckerberg's 3D community. Literally within minutes of turning up, he was being abused. Led by the Facebook founder, the Metaverse is a set of virtual spaces where you can game, work and communicate with other people who aren't in the same physical space as you, using avatars that are able to explore the world online and meet, interact and visit a fast-growing network of virtual locations such as cities, country scenes or cafes. This is very reminiscent of avatars back in the 90s, and I remember going to see the Millennium Dome in 1999. And we did avatars there, and this was the new big thing 24 years ago. So nice to see Zuckerberg catching up with the 1990s. But the new technology has faced accusations over a lack of safeguarding and moderation, with mother Nina Jane Patel claiming she was assaulted less than a minute after entering the virtual world online this year. Less than a minute. The Centre for Countering Digital Hate also earlier found that users, including minors, are exposed to abusive behaviour every 7 minutes. Now, a Channel 4 probe has raised further concern over the safety of the virtual world. In fact, basically, parents, if you've got kids, don't let them go there, and don't go there yourself. This is a cesspit. It's an absolute cesspit of awfulness and awful people. Now a Channel 4 probe has raised further concern over the safety of the virtual world. Yinka Bikini, this lady here, posed as both a 22-year-old woman and a 13-year-old girl as part of a probe that will be broadcast in tonight's programme. Using the most popular VR headset, the Meta-owned Oculus Quest, of which 8 million have been sold, she tried out 2 of the most popular apps on its store, VR Chat and the Rec Room. However, within minutes of using both apps, she became surrounded by other users making very explicit comments while also witnessing the simulation of certain physical acts while simply walking around, including between users who appeared to be minors. And I presume they don't mean people who are digging up coal. And there he is, the phonographer in chief. His little nasty world. He looks like a lizard, doesn't he? I remember V years ago, and he used to peel the skin off and reveal a lizard that was underneath. And that's him. All that money, you can't afford a good haircut. Oh, what an odious, creepy man. Anyway, recalling her experience, Yinka said there was a lot of harassment going on, and it was very intimidating. It's shocking the level of R, S, and H slurs flying around. Just because you put a headset on, all of a sudden you're not responsible for what you say. It isn't okay to do it in a classroom, in a workplace, on public transport, on the road. So why is it okay to do it in the metaverse? Because that tosser is a nasty bit of work. VR Chat, which is not made by Meta but can be downloaded from the store, has previously faced criticism after an investigation by the BBC found that grooming, S material, R insults and R threats were prevalent in the app. And the Channel 4 investigation has now found one user using R slurs in the apps, while a second avatar just said, "I like little lady girls from the age of 9 till 12. That's just my thing." They're sick people, and this is being allowed on a platform that the Zuck has created and is not monitoring and is not policing and is allowing this to happen. That makes him complicit. Ms. Bikini also came across S threatening behaviour from what appeared to be teenagers, while other users appeared to discuss S acts with children, including in the same room. In another scene, a user was seen to use R language, saying, imagine being, get back to the fields and pick her. Now, I actually have to be careful about what I say, because someone could snip this, so I have to be very thoughtful about what I say. I mean, I'm only highlighting it, I'm not saying it, you understand. But someone could take me out of context here, and this could be damaging. So please bear with me if my speech patterns sort of change. I've got to be so very careful on what I say. Anyway, it comes after similar investigation by the Data for Countering Digital Hate, and found that users, including minors, are exposed to abusive behaviour every 7 minutes. This included being exposed to S graphic content, bullying, S harassment, and abuse of others. The probe also found the threats of violins and mocking 9/11. Andy Burrows, the head of Child Safety Online at the NSPCC, told Channel 4 children are going into these spaces expecting they will be safe. And what you're seeing is spaces that are being designed to appeal to children, to draw children in. But then no even cursory attempt at safeguarding or moderating. You have an online Wild West. Yes, you've opened up a place, and you are Zuckerberg. You've opened up a place. You've invited children in, and then you've invited in the worst possible people that could ever meet children. You are liable for any damage. This is down to you. You are as guilty of the abuse of these young people as the people who are actually doing the abuse of these young people. It follows similar comments from television presenter and online safety campaigner Carol Vorderman last week, who warned of the dangers of emerging metaverse for young children, and she called for new legislation to be brought in to protect users. The presenter, 61, also compared the immersive technology to the Wild West, as she warned of the dangers of grooming and how it will affect, and the effect it will have on the brain, especially the brain of developing children. I mean, this guy, Zuckerberg, needs to be brought to task and actually needs to be up in front of a judge for this. And I'd love to see him get 10 years. Love to see that. Wonder if he'd make friends like Tory MP Damien Collins also warned that we should be genuinely frightened of the metaverse, adding the problem in the real world could exist in a way that totally uncontrolled in the virtual world. In January, mother Nina Jane Patel watched and listened in horror through a virtual virtual reality headset as her avatar was roped aggressively in a sustained attack by 3 realistic male characters. She had to tear off her headset, which covers her eyes and allows her to see the metaverse as her avatar sees it, to end the ordeal. While she could not actually feel the avatar's hands, Miss Patel had suffered from anxiety since the attack and fears for the safety of her 3 teenage girls and other women in this lawless virtual world. A spokesperson for Meta said, "We don't own these apps or care. We just don't own these apps, and they can be used on phones, laptops and other VR devices, not just Quest. But they're allowing it on their platform. You cannot deny it's their platform. We encourage other companies to opt into the identity system we've created because our system allows people to block or mute abusive users more effectively across all virtual worlds. We cannot take action against customers on devices we don't own. It's your platform. You should have policemen, sheriffs, whatever you want to call them, virtual sheriffs going around. You're quick enough to ban people off Facebook if they say the wrong thing or goes against the group think. We offer tools that allow people to block other users from their experience and report issues across the entire Quest platform so they have more control over the VR experiences. We prohibit anyone under 13 from creating Quest accounts and design some experiences only for people 18 or over. And how do you police that? Oh wait, you don't. I mean, seriously, that's the end of the article, really. But, you know, you've got this space that Zuckerberg has created that is actually designed and is attractive to children. And then the trouble is he's made this attractive to children. And the one thing it's attracted is people who are attracted to children. This creepy alien, Zuckerberg, has created this. He's responsible. He needs to be charged. Anything that happens, the abuse, the threats, the anxiety attacks, as people are going to be traumatized, that's all down to Zuckerberg. He hasn't policed this. He hasn't built in safeguards. He needs to be sued, and he needs to be sued big time. And I'd love to see him go to jail for this. Anyway, I shall round off. I shall come up and finish. So there it is, the Metaverse, an incredibly awful place filled with nasty, dirty, filthy scum, and designed by the most weird, non-conforming inhuman who can barely function as a human being. He's with his glass-eyed alien face, you know, he doesn't care. He wants you to put your children in his safe hands. Oh dearie me, Mr. Zuckerberg, what the hell are you? Because you're inhuman. Anyway, you must take this warning. Do not let your children go there. Avoid it yourself. Monitor your children if they're anywhere near this thing. And complain. And complain. And complain. And hopefully we'll get it taken down. And hopefully I'd like to see Zuckerberg in prison. But anyway, we shall call it quits to that. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of our future output. Leave a like, leave a comment. And until next time, dear friends, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.